Hold on a little while longer. Hold on. Hold on a little while longer. Hold on. Hold on a little while longer. Hold on. A little while longer. Hold on a little while longer. Hold on. Hold on, sister. Hold on a little while longer. Hold on. A little while longer. Hold on a little while longer. Hold on. Hold on, sister. Hold on a little while longer. Hold on. A little while longer. Hold on a little while longer. Hold on. Hold on, sister. Hold on a little while longer. Hold on. A little while longer. Hold on a little while longer. Hold on. Hold on, sister. Hold on a little while longer. Hold on. A little while longer. Hold on a little while longer. Hold on. Hold on, sister. Hold on a little while longer. Hold on. A little while longer. Hold on a little while longer. Hold on. She has been called into transition after a major emotional event, something powerful enough to knock her off her feet and take her breath away. She has been pushed beyond all limits, finding herself at the edge of familiar territory. She knows that crossing the line at her feet may make her unknowable to her clan, to herself. Yet she walks forward anyhow with no knowledge of the rules governing this new land. The next choices, while clear to her soul, break every rule.
Require new covenants with herself.
More gradient in the measure.
A louder voice. A decisive severing action.
Travelers hit the road when they can't stay home. When standing still means drowning.
They make extreme choices when there are no reasonable, pretty, or quiet options available. Yelling when silence serves their oppression.
The traveler knows that her happiness and sanity are more important than external opinions. She can no longer be pleasing. She has been attacked and offended and has no choice but to come out swinging. She knows the dangers. She knows she risks being labeled unlovable, raised on stories of unforgivable women. But the winds blow and the road calls.
The weary traveler may arrive angry, worn, and starving. And while she is best served by rest, she's not yet sure if more battles will arise. If she lays down her armor at the sight of the first resting post, will she be able to steady herself in time to meet the next blows?
More often than not, she will avoid family, blood, kin, and the spaces they conduct
are not hospitable. They require that the weary traveler contain herself and quietly serve.
In a state of heightened awareness and sensitivity, the traveler only has room for her current vision, her now self, her present perspective. It is too distracting to expect her to interact with people who think she should be or feel in some prescribed manner.
These are ancient requirements, punishable, defendable, stubborn requirements. She prays,
I am no one's secret treasure, nor property, nor honeypot of good fortune.
I am not toy, nor plaything, nor source of amusement.
I cannot tolerate hard boundaries and inflexibility. I'm in need of a soft place to land. I'm in need of course, and my pleasure. Not you should have. I told you, and well, did you try? I know that I'll run as long as my legs will carry me. I'll run as long as is necessary. I'll run towards freedom, towards something sweeter, and I will crumble in the process if necessary.
I am grateful for being able to think and act as I choose. I gladly sacrifice familiarity for freedom every time.
I need to meet the eyes of others who too have traveled, other women who have known flight.
I need space to think, a simple routine and food prepared with love. I'm tired of having to explain the obvious. I'm tired of having to cater to everyone else's feelings.
I have already put myself through an inquisition, and I still have questions of my own. I know that sometimes things are impossible, and that walking off is necessary. Sometimes you have no choice but to follow the clearest path, as unknowable and unnameable as that path may be. I ask,
How can you not understand? How can you know all the facts and still question my choices?
it is the arrogance of the questioner, the should-be kin that's so painful, as though they have never faced the ego-crushing that follows heartache and loss. I reject.
work hard, be sweet, be likable, give them cues that you can be trusted,
Do anything
to be chosen.
Do everything to overcome the assumptions attached to bodies like yours.
Being on the road too long makes me forget civility. Like a soldier too long at war, I'll wander until the terrain shows signs of livability, until community appears. Others look upon me bewildered. They say, oh, I could never. Well, those kinds of choices just aren't required if
you're a good girl, if you go to school, if you are chosen by the right man,
If you're smart,
if you're pretty,
if you get a good job, if you worship the right God in the right way.
I know that it is an illusion, that any layers of identity might protect me from the uncertainties of life. I am fully aware that my status as an unprotected human leaves me open to any number of commonly accepted attacks.
And still I know that this path is sacred. I know that truth matters most, even if there are no ears or hearts courageous enough to hear it, but mine.
Do not be lulled into thinking that the weary traveler's journey is hers alone. She is our holy miracle. Casting spells at the speed of light, she electrifies those who witness her in action, giving us permission to explore our deepest desires. She calls to the wanderer in all of us, inching us closer and closer to the line we know that if crossed, will ask us to surrender every piece of us that makes us feel safe and protected.
Oshun, bring us great sweetness. Surround us in sweet, precious grace and ease during this transition. Oya, grant us power in the storm. Grant us flexibility and flow as you destroy and construct newness all around us. Let us drift and float in stride. Let us stay the course in farewell, trusting in the current and the crashing wave, trusting in our own buoyancy, becoming weathered and learned of the tide. Let the receding wave unearth riches from the depths. May we be polished glass, glimmering in the sun, our rough edges and broken places smoothed and refined by the earthquakes, the hurricanes, and floods. Ashe.
Ashe.
Kitchens require truth-telling. They are sacred. So when a sister pulls you to the side, over the sink, outside of the gaze with palpable curiosity and suspicion, and she asks you, how is it over here? Over there, with those people. You answer her honestly, always. Words are not required. We say it all with the raised brow, the ever so slight curl of the lip. Understood in silence, words offered in code. Should elaboration be necessary, more for the relief of the teller, as all is readily known. This curiosity is an opening, a welcome post. Pause here. You are safe. I can hold what you need to lay down. In these moments, we honor the grandmothers who walked off. In these moments, we save each other. In these moments, we knot another stitch in the sacred fabric. This delicate tapestry floating high above, stretching and connecting all, made from sweat and string and paper clips and tape and gnawed fingernails and gum and tears and hope and thread spun from secrets. Great burdens carried too long until finally relinquished. From below, this sacred fabric is unseen. From below, it appears like an elegant dancer flying high in the clouds. But to the women for whom flight is known, the grace and precision required to remain steady are not merely elements of style. They are deliberate choices, calculated leaps from one safe place to the next, propelled by faith and hope. And the tales of women who have flown before.
Cheers to the baby girl in all of us! The one who still squeals like the light. Who plays so hard her hairdo comes undone. Who pouts when things don't go her way.
Get you.
And refuses to share her favorite things. May she continue to guide us towards the life of the pleasure. Sophisticated lady, everybody get up. Sophisticated lady, everybody get up. Sophisticated lady, everybody get up. sophisticated lady. Everybody get up. Little Sally Walker walking down the street. She didn't know what to do, so she jumped in front of me. She said, go on, girl, do your thing and switch. Go on, girl, do your thing and switch. Tweety-leety-lee, 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 sweetie baby, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a boom, boom.
Victory, 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 victory. I split my V, I dot my I curl my CT.
Miss Mary Mac, all dressed in black, with silver buttons. Oh, down her back.
Down, baby, down by the roller coaster. Sweet, baby, I never let you go. Shimmy, Cocoa Pop, shimmy, pop.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right, you gotta go. Speed that thing up, girl. Okay. Hey.
Pop up.
Okay.
Oh, snap.
I'd like you all to grab your hymnals. Please turn to page 15 for the responsive reading. I'll be reading from the book of Expectations, chapter 11, verses 13 through 16. Give me a boom shakalaka once you found your page.
Boom shakalaka.
Boom shakalaka. Be wary of excitement and over excessive praise.
They may want to consume you.
This may be a request for open access, an unencumbered opportunity to inspect.
Distinct from an open, delighted knowing.
This is critical and limited.
You are not meant to exist in your fullness.
No. Now that would be too much. That's too much.
It will not be rewarded.
Not at all. Now listen to me closely, children. They can only devour you in small pieces.
Small pieces.
Teeny tiny. Itty bitty.
What is it?
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 What is it about that space behind my mama's knees? The bend of her body, my hiding place. A resting mama, a working classy mama. Something so sacred and yummy about her presence. And the softness of her body while she sleeps on her side. Chest rising and falling, rising and falling, and rising and falling, and rising and falling. What is it?
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 What is it? What is it? What is it?
What is it?
Behind my mama's knees. I store my dolls and toys and books. All of my precious treasures. Yeah. And everything else that I would need to keep myself entertained while mama napped. I felt safe, tucked away, with my head rested on her thighs. But careful, 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 careful. Oh, careful. You better be careful not to wake her up. Unless somebody calls on her phone or comes a knocking on her door. The TV, tuned to my favorite stations, offered hours of cartoons. And my giggles, they never disturbed her. But in early exercise and trust, I was never to roam around the house unsupervised. Oh, no. She wanted me close. That's right. Within an arm's reach, just in case. She could sleep so deeply, but would quickly wake up if I shifted out of my fortress. My beautiful resting mama, still working, protecting, and loving, even while she dreams. Even while she dreams.
Girl.
Yes, girl. Girl. Yes, ma'am.
What is
Beautiful.
it? Yes. Wait a minute. No.
No.
Most of us are working beyond exhaustion in all of our intimate relationships, be they familial, social, or romantic in nature. Now, it would seem that the overextended Black woman is the norm regardless of class, and in fact, class mobility seems to give us perhaps a more thorough to-do list, one that layers in guilt for anything that could be considered extra, and anything that does not serve this narrative of organized production and consumption is
Extra.
all of our time and talents are expected to serve this general other. We're an assumed part of all things, an essential thread, and yet, while everything around us is valuable, we have no value ourselves. We're useful,
But not valuable.
we exist to serve in the common imagination at all times and in all spaces, and still, even our health and joy are required for sacrifice. These concepts of rest and Black women hardly seem related. Rest and Black women. Right. Rest is for us
Categorically unacceptable.
Now, let us take a moment to imagine the Black woman resting, not engaged in any service-oriented activity. Now, what thoughts and feelings arise? This image usually prompts the question, well, what did she do to earn that rest? And if she has not earned that rest, we label her as lazy. Oh, you can see the disgust.
It is never hidden.
Our leisure is a garish display of sloth. Our rest is somehow always so inconvenient for everyone around. And they scurry to find labor for the resting woman. Mommy, 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 mommy. Baby, 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 baby. Could Could you just take on some huge amount of work for me while I act like it's no big deal? And always just when you close your eyes or sit down to pee. Just when you think you have efficiently checked everything off your to-do list. I mean, even this notion of earning rest assumes that this rest can indeed be earned and that we can never be deemed worthy of it. Because if a Black woman has time and space to rest, well, naturally she should be assigned more work. And if we can't rest, we can't work our magic. We have to sit still and think in order to survive. We have to process and heal from all the little assaults all day long. And we end up wearing that distress in our bodies. They'll write prescriptions for all your new chronic diseases, all the loss, but they ain't gonna leave you alone.
Leave us alone!
We're tired of spending so much time recovering. Now, in our collective imagination, we have understood that rest is absolutely necessary for optimal health. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So, if in our collective imagination, Black women do not deserve rest, then too, in our collective imagination, Black women do not deserve optimal health. Can you live with that? Well, if not, please consider the following. In order to restore the brilliant sanity and restorative solitude of Black women, you can begin with just a few simple steps. One, release the assumption that the farming out of our time and thinking is somehow natural or appropriate. Number two, fairly compensate Black women for everything we do using the commonly accepted currency, and no, praise and bartering are not acceptable. Number three, recognize and support our leadership everywhere you see us leading. And number,
Let it out. Come on.
Number four, the next time you hear the brilliance flow from our mouths, do not then ask us to turn that brilliance over to a male so that he can get the credit and benefit of what we have just created.
If true choices exist,
And they rarely do, approach with caution. There's always a tax. There's always a tax. There's always a tax. It's gonna cost you, baby. Don't assume things will change. It will not.
I am in the process of willfully coming undone. As in,
She's come undone.
because we all know that it is the duty of a good woman to be done. Hair must be done. Nails must be done. There's something about womanhood that means that we spend a great deal of our time trying to look like, smell like, act like, feel like.
Look like, smell like, act like, feel like.
Something else. Something false.
Something else. Something false.
An imaginary something that does not exist in real time. Womanhood is something dog, dank, nasty, dirty, funky, and powerful in a way that means it must be tamed, shut down, and controlled. Pushed to the inner recesses of our psyche to the point where we as women are not really sure that women actually exist. Or just the fantasies of a few sex-crazed nymphos. Because, I mean, who among the commonly accepted imagery actually represents the real woman? Who you think? Okay, I know it is. Okay. Aisha Curry.
No, girl.
Okay. I'm sure this is it. Okay. First Lady Michelle Obama.
Monday through Friday, but not really.
Okay, no, that's not it. Okay, what I got? got it.
I got it.
Cardi B. Nah. See, I haven't worked that out for myself.
No.
But in the meantime, I'm working on coming undone.
She's come undone.
This is an exhortation that is cried out when a woman bursts out of her corset or allows that bun at the nape of her neck to come loose, speaks her truth unapologetically, or takes up too much space, or does all of the above, which of course means that she's having a nervous breakdown. She has come undone when we are not controlled. Now don't get me wrong. I can be the empress of control. Soft, dulcet voice, smooth, tender touch, not rattled by anything or anyone, eternally at peace in any situation. Because this makes it sound like something good. Like something laudable that you want to cleave unto yourself. But I feel so much better when I'm undone. There's not a tight knot in my throat. My back and my chest don't ache. And I'm not nauseous from swallowing so much shit. Because we all know that swallowing pain is one of the duties of a good woman. I actually had a lover from the Gambia tell me.
What?
A woman's body is made to take pain. While men are expected to experience untold amounts of pleasure, I am in the midst of an internal battle to remain undone. It is an everyday war against the ways and the mores and the upbringings that poke and prod and suggest and insinuate that I remain done, shut down, tame, control. It is a daily battle.
It's a fight for my life,
For my breath.
For my sanity.
for my health.
Yes, you're interpreting this correctly. I'm consciously working on becoming the crazy bitch. The baby mama with the drama. The insatiable freak. And the fatal attraction hoe.
Damn. Gotta kill him.
Because it is a lie not to be this part of ourselves. And it is fatal to lose this part of ourselves in the pursuit of being done. It is suicidal. So yes, she has come undone. Totally, completely, and utterly undone.
She refuses to breathe life into lies anymore.
She will not stand idly by and take shit anymore.
She will not assist you in abusing her anymore.
She is not a cog in the wheel of oppression.
Nor a brick builder in the white supremacist patriarchal pyramid. She expects
More and more and more and more.
and she has the gall not to accept anything less than what she gives. She act right peculiar.
Sometimes.
She got them old funny ways. She a wild girl. Wow. She is shocking. Totally, completely, and utterly undone. So mote it be. In the name of everything that is round and juicy and life-giving in the universe.
And round and juicy 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 and round
And you say, around, and you say.
Would you all please turn with me in your hymnals, to the book of expectations, chapter 11, verses 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 and 22. Your invisibility shall always be required. You will move around as if everything around you is fragile and easily soiled. You will know yourself in distinct, even fractions.
It will begin at home, at birth, for the girl child, shaming her into invisibility for safekeeping. She'll be chastised, called fast and grown, as if her world won't require that.
Shame, because shame works best. It cuts at the soul and lingers. Part of every question, every heavily weighted decision passed down without question, both inheritance and burden. And yet it is the best I have to give a girl child, if she's even to have the tiniest chance of surviving. World around her ain't gonna change. Won't be no room for her brown body to exist just for its own sake.
A hard kind of love, but necessary. If you can learn to be small enough, you'll stay safe.
They might let you walk home alone. Maybe they'll just pass you by and not take the time to stop that truck and pile out and darken your midnight sky forever. Maybe, if you're nice enough and forgettable, you might just make it home. Maybe they'll let your mother keep you just a little while longer. Maybe they'll let you keep all of that sweet brilliance to yourself. Let you keep your wild.
Shame stays with you for those times outside of mama's eyesight, when she can't stand between you and prying hands on the back of school buses, or shield you from the wolves and fools, those determined that you've been animated for their attention alone. You couldn't have existed before.
In the absence of my protection, I give from my chest of hopes and fears tightly packaged possibilities of all that she might be or come to know for herself. Her own something.
This gift of invisibility is all that will cover and protect you. It is what our mothers have known. All they have to give us. This black magic, this woman's alchemy is called for when we find ourselves trapped in a grove of rotting sour fruit, and still a sweet tonic must be made. This is survival. This is the blackest craft, not recommended, but unavoidable.
The scavengers find us on the path sometimes, unprotected,
Disconnected.
Unloved.
Broken and still so full of light.
He came hungry, smiling and singing a hazy, shadowy song. Such an easy fog to disappear into, and I thought I could hide there in his scars and secrets. Should I have told him that I'm on the run? All the things I dare not speak, that I'm the one seeking refuge, having failed at maintaining, serving silently, and being pleasing. That I have been dancing on broken glass and smiling. Every now and then he'd say, I think you love me, but you don't like me. Listing all the reasons I was better in his company, saying anything he could think of to make me feel something in relation to the idea of him. He was not concerned about the separation between fact and fiction, and I couldn't speak. Finding a place to swallow it down, I decided, without knowing, that I could survive whatever this was.
We all know the scale.
The
The isolation gets heavy sometimes.
Lay that burden down. It's not till after you carried it a ways that you realize it ain't yours.
Survival. That is all I wanted. Something to mark the day, something to just let them drift by, because feeling had become dangerous, exhausting, and I needed to be numb. I couldn't feel everything all day and survive. I felt cornered. I knew that as an unclaimed woman, it was expected that my time be everyone's. I'm an extension of my clan until claimed by parenthood or partnership, and I needed myself, or whatever threads were left. Still shaken from falling mid-flight, not yet sure, not ready to trust my feet or wings. And I could be free with him. No rules, just a moment. He would hide with me and let me consume myself with him, and I was a ravenous outcast on walkabout. I couldn't go home. When he met me wandering in the wilderness, I thought he was a fellow traveler.
This is black magic, a watery, intentional alchemy.
Not to be discussed casually over brunch or offered as an easy remedy.
Nor given in times of bloodthirsty revenge. This magic is hidden.
In the bottom of bacon grease jars. The art of maximized usefulness. Adding, subtracting.
The rules state,
An unclaimed woman is available for any and all labor.
after asking for room to be human and being denied, I ran attempted flight and stumbled into him. And he was a perfect distraction. I welcomed his availability, his willingness to let the days pass, to stay in bed longer, to always have a guy.
He was perfectly designed to pass the time.
And his presence, not his goodness, granted me that very real space from the exacting labor expected by kin to produce, generate, be hands, keep the peace, help please the beast. But if under ownership of your own beast, you may be excused. A warm handoff, not official, but a temporary order until a full request for ownership is granted. In these shadows, a woman loses and finds herself. She thought this might happen once and assumed that she could be prepared for such an event. She did not yet know of the shadow's bending power, that time could stand still and loop without her consent, that Saturdays could lose their sweetness and she would crawl, feeling her way blindly, fingertips sorting out the familiar. And all of it was dangerous, volatile. No choice came as a gift. Every inch of space was earned. No intuition, no warnings, just happenings and collisions. She was not prepared for such a series of events. She did not yet know that breaking would have been easier than bending.
Breaking would have been easier than bending.
Breaking would have been easier than bending. Breaking would have been easier
than
than
bending.
bending. Breaking would have been easier than bending.
Than bending.
Bending meant never being able to forget herself the way she was before loving. And it was all just too hard to do the simplest things. She stopped laughing around her house. She stopped dancing in her bedroom. She stopped singing. And she came to believe that she might never recover.
Remembering the heart in the aftermath of loving you and needing you and using you as salve. After all of it, there's got to be a line I cannot cross again. You are the line that I cannot cross again.
It is easy to hate a stranger. It's easy to feel connected to someone with whom you share a sense of suffering or survival. Love remains when we've labored together. Love and connection remain when you've witnessed my most vulnerable moment. When you were my sacred space. When you were the best I could do. When you became all I deserved. When you loved me. When you were the only one who could accompany me in the darkness. To everyone else, I was unforgivable, unlovable, unrecognizable, but you saw something useful. And I thought that meant you might love me if I shared what little I had with you.
I found out. I found out that hurt is not the end of love. Hurt does not extinguish feelings or erase history. I'm supposed to hate him now, and I cannot. That is the secret that I keep to myself. That is the secret that I keep from my family, who had to come and pull him out of my house so that I could breathe. And from my sisters, who came and picked me up off of the floor after I lost our baby. I say this and I still do not romanticize the details. There was no reward for my nobility. Am I supposed to be ashamed of him or of myself for allowing this to happen? For showing up again? For returning to you? Because there was no place else to go.
I chose it. I chose to take you on as my responsibility for all the ways. It was easier to focus on what I perceived to be your healing instead of mine. I never told you were only good enough for now. These are the secrets that I only tell through tears to my closest confidants, those who can understand the complexities of negotiating closeness.
I birthed myself in that year after losing you. That ebo of blood, deep red clumps of you and I. I am here stepping out on the path again. After a time of questioning and standing at the crossroads, I have chosen a new direction. After a time of having an absence of faith, waiting on something.
One sign wasn't enough. Many exit points came and went, and I stood still waiting for the timing to be right, waiting for this storm to pass, just waiting and dying. It didn't take long after numbing myself with you to notice the difference. I was more shadow than woman, more sketch than full color rendering, a content lifelessness.
Because I was working and had good insurance, it only cost me $250. $250 and a new mattress set to lose you. I cleaned everything else. The bathroom rugs, the shower curtain, all the towels. I even took 1 week off work because I didn't have enough sick days. I felt guilty for taking the time off, but I figured that if I couldn't make the walk from my car to the office, it was permissible to sit still. I grieved so many things on that blood-soaked mattress. Why hadn't I known? Why did I doubt my body so ferociously that I missed the opportunity to know that I was pregnant, even for a little while? Knowing might have been worse. It might have made me shaky in decisions where I needed to be firm. That sad-ass week on that sad-ass mattress, I was numb, still in shock and obsessing over the possibility that somehow you survived. And I was gonna make a person, a living, feeling person. With a shitty-ass daddy? Hell no. I was going to make a person all by myself, raised by my tribe of kindred spirits. My sisters were going to wrap their arms around me and carry me into a present moment that would have contained a tiny brown face that would have looked like mine, with small traces of yours.
And so I find myself in the midst of a painful breakup. He is telling me that my perception of things is off, that I'm misconstruing, miscalculating, and misjudging the entire situation. I take a moment before hurtling fully into the abyss of self-deprecation for ritual self-care, just one moment to hear only my own voice, to love only myself, and to honor only myself. And I realize I may be misjudging, miscalculating, and misconstruing, but for right now, I'm going to believe my own eyes. Because my eyes, my ears, and my heart have no reason to lie to me. This gives me peace in the midst of this cyclone of pain. It allows me to inhale deeply. And I am empowered. And I am free.
So I was watching this documentary about Quincy D-Light Jones. No doubt he's a wonderful artist and personality. But there was something about the way that the people close to him, like his first wife and daughter, they described him as complicated. So it got me to thinking about the ways in which we make space for the talented men in our lives to focus on their art as their first priority. So I wondered, will they call me a complicated woman? Or will I be this hard bitch? Selfish, uncaring. Didn't learn those things that a daughter was supposed to prepare her for those things that a wife is supposed to, that prepare her for the things that a mother is supposed to. I just couldn't get it right. I never could fit there. Will I be this tough dyke who didn't need nobody and couldn't accept her brother as her keeper? Modeling how not to be. They point. They say, oh no, honey, you don't want to be that kind of woman. Well, you won't ever. Well, you can't ever. How dare you not want nobody? How dare you not want to be Mr. Somebody's woman?
Girl.
Well, they say I deserted my people, forgot my way home and how to make my mama proud. Did I fail her somehow? Worshipping this mass my soul calls home, inept at manipulation and bursting to say what my heart calls the truth. Will they hold me in their hearts and pray for me? Names on lists carried in circles or dust hands. No hope for me now. Will I be anybody's play sister, auntie, play mama, or just a lost sheep, too black for mantles and stories during company visits? Will they call me a complicated woman? Hell, will they call my name at all?
That's the question.
I have my mother's hands. Held in my mother's hands.
I have
by
my mother's hands.
I
Held
am now
in my
my
mother's
mother's
hands.
hands.
Molded
Have
by my mother's hands. I am now my mother's hands.
Molded by my mother's hands.
I have my mother's hands.
Now my mother's
Held in my mother's hands.
I have
in
my
my mother's
mother's hands. Held in my mother's hands. Molded by my mother's hands. I am now my mother's hands.
I am she whose hands can stop traffic and stop nonsense.
I am she who is never without her favorite thing.
That's the truth, honey. That's the truth. I am she who conjures and creates.
Yes, ma'am.
I am she who lights up all the dark places.
That's right.
I am she who gets drunk on dewdrops and grows fat on pot liquor.
I am she whose footsteps make mountains and carve canyons.
Yes. I am she who is creative and all-consuming.
Oh, come on now.
Now, y'all already know that I am she who recites scripture while pussy popping on her hands.
And I am she who is the clabber girl baking powder that makes your cornbread rise.
Come on, Clamor.
Come on.
Well, I am she who rises with the moon and rests with the sun.
I am wild she. I am free she. I am she. Oh, honey.
Girl.
I am she.
Yes, you are.
She is she, y'all. She is she. She is she.
You she, honey.
She.
That makes me think about this concept of the black woman being too much. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Every little black girl is raised with it, right? We too domineering. We too overbearing. We too loud. We too big, and we too black.
Girl.
Yeah, so we spend our whole lives trying to tuck in any part of ourselves that we think is too big. And we crucify ourselves when we ask for anything. Anything at all. But then one day, we bust wide open.
Yes, honey.
And we realize that all of our tender, juicy parts are in fact her.
Yeah.
Our love, our pleasure, our creativity is all her.
Yeah.
On that day, we dance.
Yes.
On that day, we holler.
Yeah.
too much.
You are.
I'm too much for anyone who has gazed upon my visage. Yes. Had a conversation with me, been made love to by me, and still says, you too much. You ask for too much, you want too much, you expect too much. He, she, they, it are absolutely positively correct. And my sincerest prayer for them is that they find a mediocre bitch. with a mediocre life.
Yes, hallelujah.
Who is just enough. Because I am not her.
No, ma'am.
I pray that my too muchness shines out as a bright, bold beacon for all of those who are not ready for everything that I'm walking with.
Yeah.
Because, baby, it ain't easy to get with me. And yes, ma'am, all the rumors that you heard are true. It's even more difficult to keep me.
Wow.
I am the lightning that only strikes once in your life, so you better catch me now. If
One time.
I am not typical. I am not the path of least resistance.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Baby, I'm precious and rare.
Like what?
Like a motherfucking hope time. Like a Harvard law degree.
Yeah.
Like snow. In Tennessee. In July. I fully own my too much.
Yes, you should.
Yes.
You do.
It reminds me of a story, though, that the ancestral mothers used to tell about Odidere, the African great parent. Yes. People were jealous of how she wielded her intellect and her beauty. And so they put irritating herbs on her stool, turned her glorious bottom a bright red. Odidere was shocked and ashamed. But then she owned her red bottom and all of herself with it.
That's right.
She began to bounce it up and down for all to see. The elders stood transfixed and said, this is what we need to put our destinies in order.
That's right.
Black woman, red woman, brown woman. She who dances with her red tail feathers. She who is complete in and of herself. Come on and dance with me, girl.
All right.
I hear them drumming our song.
Blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I work every day for this.
Yeah, you do.
I am a miracle in that I am simply here.
Yes.
I made space for myself when no one felt I was deserving. When all you saw of me was a one-dimensional sketching, here I am living in full bloom and color.
Yeah.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am a figment of your imagination. A self-actualized apparition of fear you repressed a few centuries ago.
Yes.
What you see before you is a woman living full and living free. I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
And I come across so easy in my delivery. Girl, you do. Syrupy sweet. Words like candy give your ears cavities if you listen to me. Shapeshifter, well adapted, always adapting.
Yes.
Fuck it, get ready, I stay ready.
Stay ready.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I'm not supposed to exist in this universe. A freak of nature, act right peculiar. Do things only when I take a notion.
That's right.
Gave up being selfless and decided that essential to being is having a self to be in. Had to incorporate the word no into my recipe. Several dashes sprinkled liberally here and there for when folk think they know what's best for me and try to impede on my casual comings and goings. No, thank you, precious Lamb of God, I learned to say. I'm not going to be able to do that particular thing right there. No, tomorrow ain't no better. Next week, neither. In fact, mark me down as a hell no. Fuck no if I had to repeat myself 3 times already. I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
Go ahead and exclude me with your definitions of good and acceptable. Tell me I'm too emotional to make my own decisions and can't be trusted. Degrade my image in one beat and imitate it in the next.
Talk about it.
Dissect me into tiny little pieces until each is a profitable commodity and still my essence can't be fully understood or contained.
Ma'am, no.
The child of abundance and faith, tapped into an endless source of creativity. You can't knock me off my stroll. I was built for this.
Yes, ma'am.
Come on.
Like water, I flow smooth. I am the breeze blowing cool.
Yes.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow smooth like water, blow cool like breeze.
I flow,
Yeah, baby girl. The walls of this place are wet and slick and rough and gleaming. Plink plunks of dripping water add rhythm to your grief. They say this is a valley, but they do not know. They see only with 2 eyes. This place with its rocky daggers pricking your souls and pinpoints of light lifting your eyes is a launch pad. You are on the rise. But echoing moans, parched tongue, and red eyes confuse this place from Providence. This is not a valley. This is a ledge, not a perch. This is an experience, not an eternity. This is a situation, not your sanctuary. This here is your lesson, not your legacy. This is not a valley, and you don't live here. You are just a visitor who soon will have stayed too long. In time, you will levitate You will ascend and be gone. Hot, hungry hands will slowly release their grasp on your ankles, your calves, your knees, your thighs, your hips, your waist, your nipples, your neck, and you will gasp air. Inhale, sis. Inhale. May the truth seek and find you. May it make you sigh, maybe even weep. My God, my God, has it been your own weight binding your feet in place? Are those your hands circling your throat? Did you bolt the door and swallow the key when opportunity swung it wide open? Who cut your kite string, sis? And how did that razor find your hand? Yes, the walls of this place are wet and rough and gleaming, but what did you say when Spirit told you to leap, move, go on, baby girl? Did you cement your steps in fear, fatigue, and shadowy stillness? So what you gonna do next? What will you do when Spirit summons you again and promises that feel good and elevation await? Are you going to trust and move, or will you wait and moan? Yeah, the walls of this place are wet and slick and rough and gleaming, but your fingers will find notches and your toes will find footing to leap and twirl and spin your way out. This is not a valley. This ain't home. Picture it, a promised land that whispers and wails deliverance and catapults you into change when you are ready. One day, with sun-kissed cheeks and arms held heaven high, you will lower your gaze and gasp at the rugged restlessness below. You will bless it with your tears and call it memory. Memory. You will lift your eyes, flex your wings, and fly. And fly, and fly.
Oshun, bring us great sweetness. Surround us in sweet, precious grace and ease during this transition. Oya, grant us power in the storm. Grant us flexibility and flow as you destroy and construct newness all around us. Let us drift and float in stride. Let us stay the course and farewell, trusting in the current and the crashing wave, trusting in our own buoyancy, becoming weathered and learned of the tide. Let the receding wave unearth riches from the depths. May we be polished glass, glimmering in the sun, our rough edges and broken places smoothed and refined by the earthquakes, the hurricanes, and floods. Ashe.
Ashe.